Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't already know me, my name is Yasmeen and I am 18 years old. So if you guys have already been watching my videos for a while, you would already know that I am currently a second-year university student at McGill University in Montreal. And as you guys would already know, Montreal is a city in Quebec, which is a French province in Canada. So obviously for that reason, the main language is French. So I'm currently living here as an Anglophone, which means that I only speak English, or like my primary language is English, and I always get a bunch of questions on what it's like living in Montreal if you only speak English, you know, if you can get by, if it's like how the people respond to that, you know, what it's like trying to look for jobs. So I decided to create this video to tell you guys what it's like to live in Montreal as an Anglophone and just to answer all of your questions. So just before I get started into this video, I just wanted to put a little disclaimer. Nothing that I say should be taken like as offense. Like, I don't mean anything that I say as criticism. I'm genuinely just like answering like all of your guys' questions in, you know, in my perspective through all of my experiences. And one more thing, or right before I get straight into this video, if you guys are looking for more, you know, Montreal lifestyle, university, health and fitness, college, literally any type of video, it is on this channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification button so you guys get notified every single time I make a post. Okay, so I actually have a video up called the 20 things you should know before moving to Montreal, and if you guys have watched that, you would know that I mentioned that Montreal is actually the student capital of North America. So for that reason, it's obviously very diverse, which is why Montreal has one of, if not the biggest, Anglo communities in Quebec. So I mean, for that reason, you obviously can get by if you don't speak French, but it would make your life so much easier because French is gonna be inevitable in your daily life. Like, the street signs are in French. Anytime you go anywhere, you're primarily gonna be approached in French. Like, for an example, if you enter like a restaurant or a boutique, like a lot of the times they'll approach you saying bonjour, hi. You know, if you reply saying bonjour, they'll speak to you in French, and if you reply saying hi, they'll speak to you in English. But you know, primarily they are gonna speak to you in French first. Overall, Montreal is bilingual, but the thing is, there really is this never-ending brawl between French and English, and for that reason, you're gonna have to be prepared for situations that might be leaving you feeling a bit salty. Like, you might find yourself in a situation with a separatist who might give you a hard time for not speaking French because, you know, in their perspective, if you're coming to live in Montreal, you're coming to live in a French province, you should at least learn the language as respect for the locals in the country, in the culture. And like, obviously I'm not generalizing, not everyone's like that, and it's not like that everywhere. It's just that you shouldn't be surprised if you do find yourself in a situation like that. Like, for example, with me, like, there would be a lot of times where someone would talk to me and I'd be like, oh, like, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, and they'd be like, how do you live here and you don't speak French? You know, like, everyone is gonna have that encounter at some point or another. And again, I'm not criticizing, I'm just genuinely explaining like my experience with that. So if you're planning on moving here, then I would advise you to at least learn basic French before you come, because like, even if you're not confident speaking it, if someone speaks to you in French and you reply to them in French and like you're obviously trying, the locals really do appreciate it. And you know, a lot of the times if someone like can tell that you're obviously struggling with the language, they'll switch to English. And the thing is that for them, it's like a sign of respect because they really appreciate that, you know, if someone's coming to live, you know, in the French province, that they're taking the time to sit and learn the language. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which everyone literally asks a million questions about, is all about jobs. So the thing is, it definitely is possible to find a job if you don't speak French, but not speaking French at all really does limit your possibilities because by law, business has to be conducted in French. So the thing is, it doesn't mean you have to be 100% fluent. Like, it really does depend on the jobs you're looking for. So for an example, if you're like working as a barista in a coffee shop or as like a waiter or a waitress, then you would need restaurant French, you know, like enough to be able to talk to the people in the kitchen, enough to have a conversation with customers, take their order, but you wouldn't need like French vocab in terms of economics or science, you know. I have a few friends who speak decent French and they were able to find really good jobs because in some places, I mean, they do need both French speakers and English speakers, but if you're working like in a firm, then you know your promotions may be limited because you may have to be fluent. So I mean, that's something you'd have to take into consideration if you want to live here in the long term. I wouldn't recommend that you put off learning French because that really is going to limit your job prospects. Like for me in my first year, I only applied to a couple of jobs and all of them required French, so that was like, you know, a problem for me. But again, it really does depend on, you know, the kind of job that you're looking for. It definitely isn't possible. Like I did find one, but you know, COVID happened, so that didn't look so well. Okay, so next I just kind of want to talk about like my personal experience with like learning the language and all of that. So the thing is, I've mentioned this in one of my videos before, but I'm originally Lebanese and the second official language of Lebanon is French. So for that reason, and like for the reason of me like living here and being from here, I've obviously picked up on like a few words or a few phrases, but the thing is, I'm still in the process of fully learning it until I'm fluent, and I do want to learn it for several reasons. Like, first of all, like I said, I mean, I'm Lebanese and like I'm from Quebec technically, so it would just make sense that I would learn my own language. And you know, like I said, I mean, not speaking French does limit your job prospects, and you know, I live here and I want to be able to get a job, so that's another reason I want to learn it. But I think the most thing that plays a role for me is the fact that when you live here, you really see how beautiful the French culture is. And the thing is, when you speak and you understand French, it really allows you to enjoy a lot of wonderful aspects about life in the province. You know, like not speaking a single word of French in Quebec is like not speaking a single word of English in Toronto. You know, at some point you're gonna feel like you're kind of missing out, because it's nice to be able to have like cultural like exchanges and life experiences and really fun conversations with random people that you've never met who are local and from here. You know, it really like opens your eyes to different parts of the world that you haven't experienced, and I think it's such an amazing thing. And like, I literally say this to anyone who's ever asked me about Montreal. It's literally my favorite place in the world, and I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so happy to be here because like I don't see myself any place other than this, and I want to be able to like be a part of all of these amazing things that I've always talked about and like I have experienced, and I feel like I can experience even more when I am fluent. You know, like it's really amazing to be able to experience different cultures, and especially because Montreal is so diverse, like you are going to be meeting from people from so many different cultures, and like I cannot even put into words how amazing I think the city is. And yeah, I would 100% recommend any of you guys to move here. If you're thinking about it, like you definitely should. And yeah, like everything that I said in this video, you know, you can get by as an Anglophone, but I would advise you to learn French. It will make your life so much easier. You know, take it from me, take it from my personal experience. Okay guys, so that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And as always, if you guys have anything specific you ever want me to do, make sure you DM me or make sure you put it down in the comment section, and I am more than happy to do it. I'll see you guys next week.